Well, hello. Good day, everybody. Welcome to the show. Mike is here. Garrett is here. Hello, Garrett. How are you?
I'm doing all right today.
Good. No, J. Chris Newberg today. He's a big-time Hollywood guy. He got called to set. Wanted to apologize for yesterday, too. I absolutely planned on doing a member show yesterday. Just because, the timing is what's fucked up about this, with you being East Coast and Chris and I West Coast. It doesn't make it super easy always to combine things. So just kind of going behind the curtain a little bit, Garrett pulls up the videos for, I'll send him pictures, videos, whatever, and he's able to pull those up and play them on his end.
It's a lot of dick pics, dude. You got to slow down on that part, all right?
Yeah, sorry about that. I figured that I was doing you a favor. I figured,
I'm good. I got one upstairs. We're set.
Nice.
I appreciate it, though.
Yeah. I'm just looking out for you, buddy. That's all.
All right. Thank you.
So anyways, when I get those days where Garrett is, not able to go at noon, Chris and I were going to go yesterday at noon, which you're in the middle of a work day. So you're not able to be there, obviously. So I was like, okay, Chris and I'll do a member show. I'll prep it differently so that I don't have pictures, videos. And I started to do that. And then Chris texted me and he was very apologetic. And was like, dude, I got called to set. And he knows this is what happens when you're salaried on a Hollywood set, wherever he's working, Paramount lot, whatever he's doing, where they can just call you into set. He got called into set again today. And so that's why he's not here now. He got called into set yesterday. So it kind of blew up what we planned to do in the afternoon. And then I had that doctor's appointment, which I knew was going to take a couple hours, which it did. Trying to establish the stuff here. So by the time I get home, it's too late. You're going to bed. So it just kind of screwed things up. I apologize for that. I apologize also because this is the last show we're going to do this week, just because I have this golf outing. My brother asked me to go, and Chris Coe puts it on. I know it's Chris Coe. Chris Coe is his actual name. I call him the mayor. He's, for those of you that have heard stories or known Matt Riley over the years, he's very much the Matt Riley of the Phoenix area. Runs his own business, does super well for himself. Partier. He's one of those that wants to get everybody together. He knows everybody. You go to a restaurant with him, a bar, the country club that he belongs to. He's friends with everybody. So call him the mayor. He's the Matt Riley of out here. So anyways, he does this big annual golf outing. So 6 months ago, G asked me, like, hey, do you want to do this with me? And I was like, sure. Yeah, it sounds like fun. Well, it's here now. And I thought we were driving up late tomorrow and then playing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But the reality is, no, we're driving up first thing in the morning tomorrow, playing Friday and Saturday, and then just coming home on Sunday. So it kind of screwed up my plans to do a show tomorrow with Chris and you. So I apologize. I'm not looking all that much. I'm looking forward to seeing people and hopefully having a good time. Stop it, Garrett.
Sorry.
Yeah. But I'm worried about my back holding up, and I hope they're not relying on me to score or anything like that. So anyway, is what it is. But welcome, everybody. I like your shirt. I like my shirt better. Marin County.
Marin.
I can't remember. Maybe Tooch got me this when he was in Marin County last. But if you know,
Marin.
you know. Huh?
Marin?
Yeah. No, it's Marin County. And as far as
Marin County?
Yeah. No, Marin County is the incorrect way. You keep saying the right way. Fuckface. So yeah, it's Marin County as far as our audience is concerned. They're the ones that know it as Marin County, thanks to Jay. He got so mad that day. It was so funny.
I know.
Quite a bit going on in the world. We got our new VP pick. Tell you a little bit about him in a moment. I had this story yesterday. Elon Musk at war with his trans daughter, Vivian, right? She was a boy and is now a girl. I believe that's how that goes.
Trans daughter.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so, because he dead names her. Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't give a fuck. That's the beauty of being a multi-billionaire, or what some people believe is the richest or one of the world's richest men, you don't have to play that stupid game with people where you're worried about them taking your livelihood away and that kind of thing. So he's in a very unique, interesting place there. A lot of people making hay out of this. His trans daughter, Vivian Wilson, she's 20 now, posted on X's arch rival Threads. Okay, so that's the one owned by Zuckerberg, right?
Yeah.
So it didn't even go to X or Twitter or whatever. She called him out over a number of discrimination cases filed against him and claimed he once described Arabic as the language of the enemy. God,
I have too.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I've said way worse. Trust me. There's video documentation of me saying much worse, but people will act like, oh my word, we can't wait to pearl clutch on stuff like this. Yeah, and if you're held to account by every stupid thing you said in your household around loved ones from the time they were 6 on, yeah, there's probably moments in every household where people are like, yeah, I kind of blew a gasket there and said some shit I didn't mean, but take it for what it's worth. I understand your new angle is this Western values Christian family man thing, but it's such a weird choice. You are not a family man. You're a serial adulterer who won't stop fucking lying about your own children. Yeah, I would be utterly shocked personally if you found out Elon Musk was a very present and dynamite father.
Yeah.
Like that would be like the headline to me. Like, wait, what? You're claiming he's a very attentive father and he's there with his children? Like, I just assumed no. Like, we're all given sort of gifts in life, no matter how small they may be. We have things that we excel at and things we struggle with. I think if you're the level of Elon Musk, you don't get there without sacrificing, like, yeah, someone else is raising the fucking kids. Sorry. I don't have time for this shit. I can't deal with the dumbest human beings on earth when they're toddlers. I just don't have that kind of time.
I'll see them when they can work.
Yeah. Let me know if they have any interest in what I'm doing and they want to get involved in the family business, whatever.
But no, one gets a DUI.
Yeah. Call me if they need help. But no, going through the wheels on the bus go round and round stages. Yeah. Let someone else fucking deal with that shit. I'm not dealing with that. You're not a Christian. As far as I'm aware, you've never stepped foot in a church. You are not some bastion for equality or progress. You called Arabic the language of the enemy when I was 6, have been sued for discrimination multiple times, and are from apartheid South Africa. You are not saving the planet. You don't give a fuck about climate change. And you're lying about multiplanetary civilization as both an excuse and because you want to seem like the CEO from Ready Player One. That's not a bad line.
No, that's pretty solid. Although I don't know why she's attacking his Christianity. I've never known Elon Musk to be a Christian.
No, but if he's leaning more into he's been red pilled is what's going on. Yeah. So he's just gotten further and further. I think he famously voted for Hillary Clinton, and I think he voted for Joe Biden. And since then, remember that meme he put out, Garrett, where it showed a stick man and the left and the right, and then it just showed the stick man getting pulled further and further one way. Yeah, I'm not the one moving here. You're the one fucking going crazy and moving so far left. I don't know who you are anymore. So I think that's kind of like the awakening, red pilling. Like, okay, these people have gone off the fucking deep end with this. Yeah. He calls it the woke mind virus, which a lot of people do.
Yep.
So he's
I think he's definitely free speech absolutist is what he always claims.
Yeah. Which I'm very proud of that.
People off Twitter for saying the N-word.
Yeah. I'm very proud of my stance on that as well. Absolutist to the max on free speech. I think it's deathly important. I don't, and to me, there's zero wiggle room on that one. Zero. And it's as simple as, like I've said a million times on this show, there's no need for protections on offensive speech. Yeah. That's not a thing. You only need to protect offensive speech. Sticks and stones, folks. Sticks and stones. It ends there. I know the people that are, like that on Second Amendment, I understand why they feel the way they feel. I get it. I get where they're coming from. Like, no. You cannot give an inch on something like this. They will fucking not be satisfied. And that's exactly how I feel about free speech. No. You claim you just want to do something with Alex Jones. You're full of shit. Leave that guy alone. Let him go out there and say whatever the fuck he wants. Sorry. That's how I feel. I don't want my free speech being trampled on, or yours, or anyone else. I want someone who disagrees with me on 100% of topics to be able to freely say whatever the fuck they want. Yep. Go ahead. I want to know where you stand. I want to know I don't want you going dark and then I have no idea what you think or what, no, get it all out there. Let those people be out there. That doesn't mean it doesn't come with consequences from time to time.
Yeah.
You can't be the CEO of a company behind the, thinking you can freely drop N-bombs and there won't be any repercussions. That's not free speech. It's not. But what was going on at Twitter was obvious. The Twitter files, Michael Schellenberger and the other guy, what's his name, who they immediately went after, the federal government went after, the IRS or whatever. Those guys uncovered horrible shit that you knew was going on if you just were on Twitter and you knew what was happening. So whether he's a Christian, I think the fact that he's on the right, sort of, he probably isn't really on the right, but it's like, I don't know who else to fall in line with now, because these people have gone so insane that I don't know where I fit. And it's like, well, I guess I fit more with this side right now. Maybe that's what she's talking about. Cause I don't think I've seen, him talking about,
God.
a lot of, I have a lot of Christian values. I haven't been into a church since I was 12. Yeah. And I don't plan on going anytime soon. But I think a lot of the structure for a society, a large society, is not a bad thing. Different argument when you're talking about, detailed things, abortion and stuff. I get that argument too, but because you want to be CEO from Ready Player One, I would mention the birth rate stuff, but I am not touching that weird 14 words breeder shit with a 10-foot pole. What does that even mean? Do you understand that? Yeah. I would mention the birth rate stuff, but I'm not touching that weird 14 words breeder shit with a 10-foot pole.
There's a whole push sort of on kind of the, a little sect of the right that thinks that the world population isn't a problem. So best way to put it is Bill Gates right now, a big lefty, whatever, he's buying up all the farmland. He's also very anti-population. He wants to try and do population control, people tell people how many kids they can have and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then the right's pushing back.
In China. Why wouldn't we try to do that again?
And the right's pushing back on that, saying we have all this space, we can handle a lot more population, we need more workers,
Yeah.
So he's kind of jumping on that, where he's like, we have plenty of space, and then we're going to go to space and make civilization up there, and I need people up there.
I've heard people make that argument about illegal immigration or even legal migration, that no, you need to bring hundreds of millions of people into the country if you want to compete globally. I don't believe that, but I've heard people make that argument, like in the big grand scheme of things of the world, if you want to compete, you're going to need a much larger population, and middle America has that. Well, they're trying, but you can't really stuff more people into New York City or LA, but middle of the country, there's a lot of dead space.
Exactly. That's for the whole thing is like, look, we got space to put people.
Yeah. I don't agree with it, but I could see the argument personally. You single-handedly disillusion me with how gullible we are as a species, because somehow people keep believing you for reasons that continue to evade me. So he's got 12 kids. Over the last 22 years, spoken publicly about his view that the world is underpopulated. He had his kids with 3 different chicks: Justine Wilson, who's the mom of Vivian, Grimes, the musician, and Siobhan Zillis. I think she worked for him. In March this year, Tesla settled along. So this is one of the things she's talking about discrimination suits. In March, Tesla settled a long-running lawsuit with a black former factory worker who claimed he was subjected to severe racial harassment. He was a former elevator operator. Owen Diaz received an undisclosed settlement. Diaz said African-American employees at the factory were regularly subjected to racist epithets, derogatory imagery. So I think he claimed that someone drew a swastika on something. Yeah. That was one of the things. A jury awarded $3.2 million in damages last year, while another in 21 awarded him $137 million. One of the largest verdicts over a discrimination case involving a single worker. Outrageous. A judge threw that out, by the way. That's like going after Trump for some petty bullshit, error and trying to, or the building shit in New York and then fining him $1 billion or whatever, or Alex Jones for $1 billion. Like, just obnoxious shit. Like, no justice at all. Most of those will get thrown out in, down the road anyways. A judge found the verdict was excessive. You think? I mean, you think they're not just going, well, it's Elon Musk, he can afford it.
Pretty much.
As if, I don't want my justice system working that way. That seems wholly unfair. But that guy lowered the award to $15 million, which you would think still, this dude fucking was
Cash in. You're up.
Elevator operator. What do you make? 30 grand a year? Fuck off, dude.
Cash in. You're up. Just that's a win. Take it. Do not relitigate. Take it and leave.
Nope. He's not happy with it at all. He's absolutely outraged by this. He deserves so much more than $15 million.
Obviously.
He was subjected to racial slurs. Oh my word. I wasn't there, so I don't know for sure, but every fucking office in America has some level of douchebaggery, assholishness. Boys will be boys. Doesn't make it right, but let's be honest. There's a lot of tomfoolery that goes on in these offices. We've all seen it. I
was going to say, under Michigan law currently, I can probably put up everybody at my work in prison right now.
Yeah, of course.
For the amount of slurs we hurl at each other.
Yeah, at each other. That's the key word. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
If you would have been at Riff, holy shit. I mean,
dude, I'm the gay guy in a workshop of blue-collar men.
Yeah. And one with a good attitude.
Oh, yeah.
That's key, which is probably why you get along with everybody there.
Well.
And I bet they can take it if you dish it right back to them.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fun work environment. There's some ladies out there that might not understand that, but I'm telling you, it's fun to work around guys that just kind of beat the shit out of each other all the time with words and attacks. And I mean, keeps us in check anyways.
It's fun. The chicks get in on it too.
Do they? Great. Yeah.
It's a good shop.
I've seen some ladies at work totally get into it, and I've seen some, that don't want anything to do with it, and that's fine too.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that this is all right, but I'm saying $137 million is a little bit obscene. Like, as if Mr. Diaz doesn't go home and drop N-bombs with his family and friends. I doubt that something like that's happening. Vivian and Musk have been engaged in a war of words with each other on socials after Musk said he was tricked into Wilson being allowed to go on puberty blockers. Musk claimed that his son had been killed by the woke mind virus. Yeah, lots of people are. We see that with a lot of people. I see it with a lot of people. Musk said he'd known from a young age that she was gay, saying she would pick out clothes for me to wear like a jacket and tell me it was fabulous and loved musicals. She's pushed back hard on that one. Vivian has, like, saying that that was totally made up. You weren't even around while I was a child. Musk would relentlessly harass her for her femininity and queerness. Maybe.
Yeah.
I suppose that goes on. What's
I got
that?
Harassed. I got harassed by my parents for that.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
What monsters? Like what?
No, awful.
Like,
if you're just doing some shit, it'd be like, you could be standing wrong, and my mom would just go, "Why are you standing like a faggot?" And you just kind of check yourself. You're like, "Oh, dude,
did you ever go
kind of like wristed a little bit?" Yeah,
because I am one.
Oh yeah, I'll come right back with it. But like, you'll be standing there. You're just not paying attention to what you're doing. Your wrist a little limp. You got a little cock in your neck or something.
Would your hot mom drop F-bombs like that?
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking beautiful. I think you've said she'd smack you upside the head too.
Probably.
Yeah. I like her more and more. I really do. She's an upstanding, wonderful woman, it sounds like. Vivian added she was legally considered as a woman in the state of California, and her father was determined for attention and validation. Musk having called her a communist who thinks anyone rich is evil. You see that with a lot of entitled, very, very super privileged, mostly white people, that they're gonna go, it's their way of rebelling against daddy. These are the fucking shitbags who throw tomato soup on paintings, most of them being entitled rich Manhattanites, from elitist schools and shit like that. You see that over and over. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Musk called what happened to him and his family evil. I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys. So how did they trick Elon Musk? Well, this is one of those things where they don't use this argument much anymore. You don't hear it very much anymore. But for a few years there, what you heard if you had someone questioning their gender identity was, you better affirm or they're going to commit suicide. Do you remember that argument?
Yep.
So he fell victim to one of those. And it's like, you're left with the impossible decision of, do I just let my fucking very young child transition, or do I let them commit suicide? Because those are apparently the only options out there. I would say Garrett is living proof that there are other options out there that exist.
A lot of them.
And I would bet at this point, at this stage in your life, in your mid-20s, that you're probably pretty glad that your dick continued to grow like normal and wasn't stunted by hormonal growth stuff when you were pubescent, going through that kind of stuff. My guess is you're glad that you weren't able to make executive decisions for yourself at a young age, and that your mom, who is not afraid to drop an F-bomb, we know, the hot one, was willing to get you a little bit of help. Conversion therapy, some would call it. Yes. Conversion therapy.
Used in Christian conversion camps. Yeah. AKA I went to the psych center, not even like a psych center. I just went to the therapy office down the road, and they kind of helped me talk some shit out, and I felt a lot better for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. What do you know? Parenting. Oh, no. Some parenting. Crazy.
It turned out I was just depressed.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of young people are. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Were you taking any SSIDs or whatever those are called? SSRIs. School, yeah. Really?
Yeah. Way back in high school.
Yeah. It's a miracle you didn't go shoot up your school. Miracle.
Really?
Yeah. You still might. I'm not putting it past you.
You know, I got that look about me, but I never would.
Yeah, you do have that look about you. I'll give you that.
I swear right now.
I'm glad you admit that you do have that look about you, because I could see it. I could see you. Like if your face popped up on my screen and they were like, faggot shoots up entire school, like I'd be like, yeah. You could see it. It's like when you look at the picture of a pedophile or a Boy Scout leader pedophile, and you're like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I could see it.
You guys didn't see this one coming? Like,
there's a look. There's a look. Yeah, the just look at him defense. This was, so going back to Elon Musk, this was really before I had an understanding of what was going on. And we had COVID going on. So it was a lot of confusion. I was told Xavier might commit suicide. There you go. When asked about gender dysphoria, he added, it's incredibly evil. And I agree with you that the people that are promoting this should go to prison. So he was talking to Jordan Peterson. It wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs. Fact. That's true. I lost my son, essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason. The reason they call it dead naming is because your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead, killed by a woke mind virus. So I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that, and we're making some progress. Yeah. First off, I think this kid is so short-sighted and stupid. I mean, your dad is one of the richest people on the planet. Like, we all have wacky dads. What's that?
I was going to say, you might want to stay in good graces.
Yeah. I mean, that just seems like a no-brainer. You know, the odds of you being as accomplished as your hundreds of billions of dollars father are about zero. You might as well, but this individual is young, and, the whole world's in front of him. So not seeing the big picture. I will say, I can't stress it enough how critical it was, for all the faults of Elon Musk, for all the weirdness that he is. I'm not saying he's a great father. I don't give a shit if he's a decent man or he's a Catholic or not, but I think what he did with Twitter, if you followed Twitter at all, you saw where it was going. You saw how the other, social media companies were in lockstep, and the domino effect with Twitter doing what they've done. And you might be able to point and go, this guy says the N-word. This guy says all black people are bad. Like, yeah, those people exist in the world. Sorry, move along if you don't like it. I move along from plenty of fucking people I don't agree with or like. They're gone to me. I don't care. I'd let them say their piece. But, the other social media companies have had to kind of fall in line, and they're not able to be as egregious as they were becoming. And while it might have been something that your team agreed with right now, that's not always going to be the way. So I think I think that is as important to society as anything he'll do with electric cars or fucking boring or rocketing to another planetary system. I think, for us living right now, this weird way we're all connected, like I don't think we're meant to be, but we are, to have that, open and free as it is now, is a good thing, whether you agree with them or not. Did you see Trump is doing an interview with Musk, by the way, on Monday?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, Elon Musk doesn't strike me as someone who'd be a great interviewer.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know who's interviewing who, because both of them I feel like are the better interviewed.
Yeah, 100%. So Trump tweeted out or put out on his Truth Social or whatever, on Monday night, I'll be doing a major interview with Elon Musk. Details to follow. So let's see. Yeah, he did say last month, Trump said about Musk when Musk came out, because Musk came out right after the assassination attempt and said, I'm supporting Trump. Fuck this. He said he's got a very good relationship with Musk. He did distance himself from Trump's campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again."
Smart.
Saying the intent of his America PAC, which there were a lot of rumors going around that he was spending $45 million a month on Trump through this super PAC that he'd made. He apparently says that's all bullshit. That yes, I'm donating some money. It's nowhere near $45 million. I don't know. I don't really care. That's going on the left all the fucking time.
I was going to say, they'll put Trump on trial for it anyways. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. You're probably right. This would just lead to another indictment for some reason.
Yep.
But
impeachment.
Yeah, let's impeach him. So his America PAC is to promote the principles that made America great in the first place. So I wouldn't say that I'm MAGA, Make America Great Again. I think America is great. I'm more MAG, Make America Greater. So I don't know. Yeah, that would be kind of fucking weird to me, because I think of both of them. Musk is a weird interview. He's
squirrely.
I don't know. What's that?
Squirrely. It's the only word I can ever describe him in an interview. He's just awkward, kind of like doesn't feel comfortable. He's fidgety. You ask him a question, he's kind of and then
he's not super well spoken.
Yeah.
Like there are talkers in the world, and there are people that are almost autistically awkward. And they can be brilliant individuals, but that's not, we've all seen that guy. He strikes me as that. I don't know. They used to say he had Asperger's. Maybe he did.
I was going to say he strikes me as 100% autistic.
Yeah, but I think he's pushed back against autism. Maybe that's just his kid. He was saying my kid's slightly autistic and gay at the time.
So
wasn't he saying that? Yeah. I think a lot of people are,
Probably.
Yeah. So with Musk, I think it was Asperger's, which is a form of autism. So that wouldn't surprise me when he's been interviewed on Rogan. It's kind of an uncomfortable, weird thing. So if he's leading the interview, and Trump's the one answering, I don't know. We'll see. I'd definitely be interested in watching it. And I would say this, I'd also be interested in hearing that same platform interview Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
For what it's worth. She would never in a fucking million years do that. For whatever reason, I think we all know the reasons. She wouldn't do it. They wouldn't allow her to do it. But I'd watch it if she did. I wouldn't avoid that. Like, go ahead. You are asking to be my president as well, not just your team's president. So believe it or not, I'm actually interested in what Camel Toe has to say.
Yeah. If she wants to try and be president, I do want to know where she stands on everything.
Yeah, she's not going to tell you, unfortunately.
Damn.
Yeah, it sucks. Did I send you the Ben Stiller video?
Yes, you did.
God, these weird identity politics things they keep doing. The white dudes for Kamala, black bitches for Kamala. They did comics for Kamala. Like these are so fucking weird. They're just money grabs, but Ben Stiller was discussing his feelings. I saw Nick Offerman as well. Holy fuck. Did you see him?
No. Yes, that is the worst video I've seen in a while.
You want to see if you can maybe find
I
that
was
one
going to
too?
say, you didn't send me that one, but now I'm looking for it.
Yeah, you know what? It's worth playing. Like, it's so.
I used to love him as an actor and his
Me
character
too.
of Ron on Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I didn't watch Parks and Rec, but I've seen enough scenes and outtakes.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
He was my favorite character in any TV show for a moment.
Yeah, he fucking homoed out hard in. Did you see that in Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that made the straight in me very uncomfortable. If I'm being fully honest, they went for it.
I got through NIC, and then Nick Offerman, proud to be a Kamala man, already popped up.
So yeah, let's see here. Go ahead. You want to play? Should we play Nick Offerman first?
Yep.
Yeah. So these people on this Zoom call, they get their tiny boxes, and they claim to be raising money, but it's also a virtue signal. And they think they're so creative. I don't know who this influences. I really don't. I mean, it's always just so cringe to me when people on a side that I might vote for have celebrities. It's just, we see it every time. We bitch about it every cycle. And I don't know why they keep doing this and thinking this is good. Maybe it is for them. I don't know. Let's watch Nick Offerman.
When he mocked the disabled and war heroes, I looked the other way. He said to march on the Capitol, well, if the president says it's okay. And I don't mind sex with porn stars, I'd do it too if I had the guts. But when it comes to f***ing the furniture, well, that's just f***ing nuts.
This is where it gets bad.
So I'm proud to be a Kamala man who has quit the GOP. Cause I just can't abide a man who's tried for 34 felonies. And it's time to stand up and face the fact that the men that I once cheered are a bunch of wingnut white nationalists. Well, those guys are f***ing weird.
They're weird. Get it? They came out and told us all to call these guys weird. So I'm doing it.
I got the memo too, guys. I'm here too.
Oh, that is so fucking bad. That is
so bad.
Oh, that's just embarrassing. And you know what? I don't fucking buy it. I don't buy the authenticity of this. These are people that are desperate for the rest of us to go, wow, you're so talented.
Stunning and brave.
No, it's not even stunning and brave with this. These are the people that go protest in front of the White House from the symphony and they bring all their instruments. And it's like, no, you're just doing a fucking performance. You're just looking for an audience. That's it. That's all you're doing. This is him. Hold on. I've got my inclusive song. It's so fucking bad and so douchey. And I see right through it. You want to show off your amazing skill. You failed. I just don't understand it. I don't fucking understand it. Nick Offerman wanted to sing and play guitar for everybody. That's what he wanted to do. And, this is what I'm talking about. It's just standard now. Couch fucker. Fine. Big Mike lives.
Yep.
That's what it is. Couch fucker. That's just a fact to him now. The JD Vance story doesn't matter. These guys are weird. What are you going to do? They're just weird. No, Sam Brinton as a hire is fucking weird. The guy that wears a puppy masks and wears dog leashes that you put on in your fucking cabinet, asshole. That's fucking weird. The guy shaving his head in a fucking woman's dress with lipstick on, stealing luggage from multiple airports. That guy's fucking weird. An invented story about JD Vance out of whole cloth is not weird. It's weird that you're bringing it up like that and acting like it's fact. It's embarrassing, Nick. It's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing as shit. Ben Stiller is beloved. These people are unbelievable. Pull up Ben Stiller.
Yep,
and I think we could just watch it. So and I'll wrap up the story here, and then we'll watch Ben. Chinese spy fucker. You remember who that was, right?
Oh, God, I need the name.
Eric Swalwell.
Eric Swalwell. Okay.
He was banging a Chinese spy.
Yep.
Well, we've never talked about that or answered
Ling.
about that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Reached out to his friends in the comedy world to help organize the event. President Biden so graciously stepping aside and passing the torch has just energized so many people. Swalwell said. Harris likes to have fun, and part of who she is that great left. Okay, that is fucking insulting. President Biden in no way graciously stepped aside from shit.
No, I was about to say graciously stepped aside.
Here's the article. Go ahead and pull me back up.
Yeah.
Garrett, I've been sitting on this story for days. It doesn't even really matter. But if you want to know how this went, Seymour Hersh wrote about this, okay? Seymour Hersh is an old fucker who's, a generational type reporter, right? His credentials are unimpeachable. And, if you want to know what happened to the Nord Stream pipeline, Seymour Hersh in his Substack told you what happened with the Nord Stream pipeline, okay? Russia did not blow up their own pipeline. That is a lie, and that is laughable on its fucking face. It's embarrassingly laughable. Seymour Hersh also wrote this article, Leaving Las Vegas, inside the last tortured days of the Biden campaign. And whether or not we ever find out really what happened to Joe Biden, who the fuck knows? But you don't see a lot of reporting on this story from Seymour Hersh. You will on this show. In late 1967, as the Vietnam War was raging, President Lyndon Johnson was becoming increasingly unpopular. I was recruited to handle the press and write speeches for Senator Eugene McCarthy, the only Democrat gutsy enough to run against the Democratic president. Months later, working round the clock, I was curious about a courier from New York City who flew up most nights on the last Eastern Airlines flight. The courier would dash to the suite with a canvas bag attached to his wrist and turn it over to one of the campaign's richest and most enthusiastic benefactors. The guy was a multimillionaire who ran a major stock market fund, but was happy to sit in the suite I was then sharing with Richard Goodwin, a real political pro, unlike me and the college brats on the campaign, and just watch and do various errands that needed doing. One night I asked the millionaire what was in the bag. He threw it to me with a key. I unlocked it and found myself staring at dozens of shiny packages of $100 bills. I had no idea then or now whether the funds were properly reported, and I did not ask. I'm going to tell you now, Seymour, they were not. Yeah. They were not. So that's how it works, I thought. And I tossed the bag back. I knew then I was not long for the world of presidential politics. It's not surprising that the long overdue unraveling of Biden's reelection campaign happened when it became impossible to keep his increasing impairment covered up. It was the big-time money backers of the Democratic Party who called off the game of see no evil, hear no evil. After Biden's shocking performance in his June debate with Donald Trump, they balked at continuing to give millions of dollars to the party now that there was evidence that the president is not always there. You'd think it would be a vigilant press corps led by the New York Times and the Washington Post who first broached the issue of Biden's impairment, but those papers missed the story. No, sir. They did not miss the story. They misled the American public about that story. Don't get it confused, Seymour. Everybody knew what was going on. Everybody saw the cover-up going on. Everybody that wanted to. The fact that people were shocked tells you the level of deception that was going on. Because I can promise you, Garrett, you and me, and people that listen to this show and have for many years, were not at all shocked by Joe Biden's debate performance. You were not shocked. Be honest with yourselves. You were not. I do believe that there was a collective gasp from people all across this country who were paying little attention or were so immersed on their side of things that they were so bamboozled and lied to, and cover was run for this campaign for so long that seeing it like they did, 50 million strong, were absolutely horrified. They shouldn't have been. Exactly. Because if the press had done their job, the New York Times, the Washington Post, to Seymour Hersh's point, They would have all known this long, long, long ago. That's part of the scam. That's why Kamala Harris should scare you. She was leading the charge to cover this up. All of them were. It shows you how deep it goes with my side. I don't care about anything else. My side's all that matters. You're willing to overlook that because no one's taking issue with Kamala. No one's even asked her the question about what she knew when. As an American citizen, that fucking is infuriating that they've tried, and they're going to do it now. They're just going to stuff her away because they don't want you to see how this woman really talks, how this woman really looks in an interview, what her politics really are. They're going to do this hide Kamala fucking and just do puff pieces. Oh, welcome to Camelot stories, that kind of bullshit. Give her covers of Vanity Fair. They're going to try to sell her that way, instead of what she really is, which is disingenuous at its face. So no, sir, no one missed this story. They misled about this story. The Wall Street Journal, whose consistently brilliant news section, considered suspect by the Times and Post and many readers because of the paper's conservative editorial page and the fact that it is part of Rupert Murdoch's News Corps, broke the story on the front page under the headline, "Behind Closed Doors, Biden Shows Signs of Slipping." And which is hilarious. And I saw a tweet from Jimmy Dore, or an X from Jimmy Dore, with that headline, "Behind Closed Doors, Biden Shows Signs of Slipping." And he just wrote, "You should see him in front of the doors."
Yeah, I was about to say.
Which is fucking great. I wish I would have thought of it first. The White House press office quickly responded that both of those quoted in the story were Republicans and supporters of Trump. The strategy somehow worked. Fear of Trump took priority over doing the right thing. Ditto for CNN, MSNBC. So this is exactly what happened to the prosecutor who said, yes, this guy's guilty as shit, but we're not going to prosecute him. It's going to look like an elder abuse because putting this, whatever the fuck this walking corpse is on the stand is going to look bad to the American people. There's no point. So, but he's still okay to be running the country today, I guess. We're still pretending that. Who in Washington didn't know that Biden was failing? We all did, up to a point. I had learned months earlier from a federal official that those in the front rows of university events where Biden was speaking were warned not to move if the president tripped while walking to the podium. So is the insinuation there that you don't want to react too much? You might get the Secret Service drawing guns on you?
Yeah, probably.
Like if you try to leap up to come to his aid? Like, can you imagine that? That's what they're telling people in the first couple rows? Look, it's highly likely this guy's going to eat shit on the stage. Whatever you do, don't overreact. Don't jump up too fast. You might get yourself shot.
I was going to say, given the track record of the Secret Service, you might get shot, but it'd be like 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
After they've already handled it and called you out.
Yeah, exactly. Secret Service agents were on hand to pick him up immediately. There would be no front page photos of a college valedictorian helping the president climb to his feet. The American public could see Biden's slow decline. The Journal reported that nearly 3/4 of those polled thought Biden was too old to seek another term. Cabinet meetings in the past few years largely disappeared or turned into rote sessions as recorded by the C-SPAN. Biden would join the seated cabinet heads, read from a prepared text, which with each page covered with a plastic sheet. It was far from vibrant television. The White House and the president himself denied that he was suffering from anything more than a bad day, a cold, a little jet lag. There were newspaper stories about Hunter Biden keeping by his side and warning all White House staffers, anyone even hints at the truth, you're fired. The idea that Hunter Biden is living in this guy's orbit, giving demands and orders to people is just holy shit. Your son is the definition of colossal train wreck. My dad wouldn't bring a train wreck like me to work. No offense to me, but he'd go, you don't meet up to the standards of human respectability enough that you get to tell anyone at my office what to do ever. That was a bad analogy, but I'm winging it here.
Yeah.
That message from Hunter Biden quickly was leaked to the press. Soon the White House press corps suddenly discovered that they were being misled by the president's press secretary. Suddenly discovered? You're telling me that the press corps suddenly discovered they were being misled by the president's press secretary, please tell me that listeners of the TDC podcast, please tell me we're not more informed than the White House press secretary as to what's going on in reality at that White House.
Sounds kind of like it.
Please tell me that's not what you're saying there. It's sure. I mean, they're either severe, and I mean severely retarded human beings, or they're covering this up too. I'm inclined.
Politicians, so they're both.
Well, I'm talking about the press corps, which, yeah, you could say they're just. Yeah. I mean, they're just carrying water for politicians at this point. So let's see. There were lots of tortured questions and broken hearts, but the message was the same. The president's in good health and is going to run for re-election this fall and carry on serving for 4 more years after he defeats Trump. On Monday, July 15th, Biden took off on Air Force One on a campaign trip to Nevada, toss-up state. On Tuesday, he gave the keynote address to 5,000 members of the NCAA. That's the black group, right? The NCAA, I believe they're called.
I think so. That sounds right.
At their annual convention.
Yeah.
The next day, the president, apparently stricken while campaigning with a yet-to-be-revealed illness. Plot's thickening. Broke from his schedule to make a police escort race to Air Force One after initially telling police they were headed to the nearest emergency room. A series of blog posts, local police reports, internet messages, and a report in the Daily Mail disclosed further details of Biden's trip to Vegas and his abrupt return home to Delaware. I went over these reports this week with a senior official in Washington who helped me fashion an account of a White House in complete disarray, culminating in the president's withdrawal from the race. It's a story not unlike 7 Days in May, the Cold War thriller in which a colonel played by Kirk Douglas foils a coup staged by a general played by Burt Lancaster. None of what you read below comes from an official account by the White House. At that point, according to Emily Gooden, a Daily Mail reporter who was in the traveling press pool, the president was deathly pale, and Air Force One flew at maximum speed to Delaware, where the president has a weekend retreat at Rehoboth Beach. The press pool was told that Biden had COVID. Nothing more was said. That's it. COVID covers all. The White House told the public that Biden got COVID infection and would be in isolation. Respiratory symptoms, a little ruddy nose, a little cough, a little fatigued. That was the last straw for a core group of congressional leaders, government officials, and some senior Biden funders who were withholding large amounts of money of committed contributions. There was pressure on donors to come across on their pending commitments. It was understood that Biden had a physical problem in Las Vegas, and the family was saying no to continued pressure from donors and senior Democrats in Congress to withdraw from the campaign. He could not be reached initially. Think about that. The president of this country could not be reached for a couple days. Are you fucking
kidding? That's not
kidding?
okay.
No, that is so not how this works. By Saturday, July 20th, former President Barack Obama was deeply involved, and there was talk that he would place a call to Biden. It was not clear whether Biden had been examined or just what happened to him in Las Vegas. The big three, the official said, referring to Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, continued to be directly involved. On Sunday morning, the official told me, with the approval of Pelosi and Schumer, Obama called Biden after breakfast and said, "Here's the deal. We have a Kamala's approval to invoke the 25th Amendment." They were going to fucking invoke the 25th on him. That's what happened. So this idea, by the way, that he did best for his country and stepped down like the hero he is.
Yeah.
He recognized what was best. Bullshit. They had to threaten this motherfucker with the 25th Amendment to the point that they said Kamala, because that's how it's invoked. The vice president invokes the 25th Amendment, and then they yank his fucking bag of bones out of office. They already had her on board. So Kamala, behind the scenes, had signed off to agree, okay, you convince him to fucking beat it, or we're invoking the 25th. What that golden parachute includes, I don't know. I would expect that Hunter will be pardoned for everything. His brother will be pardoned for everything. Yep. He will pardon himself for everything. No future prosecutions for anything. So if you think you're going to get to the bottom of the big, get 10% for the big guy, forget it. That's all going to go away. So Here's the deal. We have Kamala's approval to invoke the 25th Amendment. The amendment provides when he's determined by the vice president to be unfit to carry out powers and duties of his office, the VP shall assume those duties. It was clear at this point that she would get the nod. That is, the support to run for the presidency. But Obama also made it clear that he was not going to immediately endorse her, which, if you remember, he did not.
Nope.
But the group had decided that her work as a prosecutor would help her deal with Trump in a debate. Careful what you wish for. One possible drawback I was told was Harris's sometimes disdain for the work of the U.S. intelligence community. She is known not to be especially interested in the president's daily brief. Think about that for a second. A highly classified summary of current intelligence that is prepared overnight by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and delivered by hand to the most vital offices in Washington, including the vice president's. The document, which includes signals intelligence, is to be read by the addressee in the presence of the delivering intelligence officer. I was told that Harris often showed little to no interest in reading that document and at some point asked the agency to stop delivering them to her.
That's not how the job works, dog.
A key factor in the decision to force Biden out of office was a series of increasingly negative polls on the president standing against Trump that had been commissioned by the funders. The downward slope was increasing. Polling would also be important for the VP, I was told, and it was agreed that if the polls did not continue to show her gaining traction, other options would be considered, including an open convention. I was unable to learn if Harris was aware of such considerations or whether she intends to abide by them. Obama emerged as the strong man throughout the negotiations. He had an agenda and he wanted to seek it through to the end, and he wanted to have control over who would be elected. A few days after we talked, with Harris getting off to a solid start, Obama and his wife announced their endorsement. He apparently did not want Kamala. He doesn't think she can win. And he's apparently fucking fuming.
I bet.
That Joe Biden, apparently the big fuck you to Obama was Joe Biden endorsing Kamala Harris. After his initial statement, he didn't endorse her. And then 20 minutes later, an endorsement came. And a lot of people think that was a fuck you to Obama. And now there was no turning back. Got the endorsement of the president. The field is off and running, and we'll see how this plays out. I bring that up because of this idea. You know, President Biden so graciously stepped aside, passing the torch to a younger. Like, fuck off. Shut up. Go bang a Chinese spy, you idiot. Just shut up. All right, you want to hear this guilty white asshole? Ben Stiller. And I'm still a fan of his movies. That doesn't change, but...
Well, acting's acting.
I just want to let you know I'm going to match your $150,000 donation.
Oh, cool. You're just throwing $100,000 around.
Cool.
I wish I had that kind of money to throw at this.
Put it up a little bit. What you get?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good. Gonna put the house up for sale.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Probably another
loud as it
funny
gets.
guy here to tell you why to vote for Kamala Harris.
Is that
But
as
I
loud
feel
as
like
it goes?
I'm different because I'm not a comic. You know, I'm an actor.
Yeah.
I played Derek Zoolander. I was in Dodgeball. I got
Yeah,
my
we
dick
know.
stuck in my zipper 25 years ago, if you're old enough to get that reference.
I am.
So I know whereof I speak. You can trust me. This is where I
Can we?
imagine thousands of people are just laughing on the Zoom. So I'll just wait.
At, not with. Ben.
I'm laughing.
Thank you. No, you know, seriously, I'm here because I'm so genuinely excited about the potential.
I'm here
actually
because I
win this
directed a
election.
movie that involved a lot of
What's happened the last
blackface.
couple of
Yeah.
weeks
And I need to
is
really,
happening at
really
the
make sure I'm
time, and
okay.
that, you know,
Yeah,
Vice
and I
President
played a
Harris
super
could actually
retarded
win this
person in
thing
that movie
if
too.
we all just
Yeah,
rally
and I
around
wrote a
it
lot of that
and
movie.
really
Yeah.
take advantage of this incredible energy that's happening. And
Yeah, incredible
you know,
energy.
I want just a decent person in the White House. You know, a person who
okay.
cares about democracy more than themselves, who doesn't
Yeah.
lie,
Yeah.
who's not fomenting anger and rage.
Yeah.
Someone who cares about people, and that's what Kamala Harris does. She's like a human being. She acts like a human being, and she has empathy, and she has humor. And it's beautiful when she laughs because she's
Pause.
Yep.
There was a court order that had to be given twice, I believe, in California to release people from prison. And her office, because their time was up, and her office's argument to keep them in prison past their sentence was, we need the workforce.
Yeah.
So she wanted to keep essentially slave wages, didn't want to pay for a fire department, and wanted to keep this program rolling. So was willing to keep these prisoners in prison past their sentences to the point that a court had to come out and demand their release.
Oh, not to mention.
So that's the level of compassion you're dealing with.
I was going to say, to mention 1,500 of those were weed cases. And Kamala currently has come out and been like, oh, I smoked a little bit back in the day, trying to be all cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very genuine.
Yeah. So, but
a real person.
Genuine.
Who is reacting to things.
Yeah.
And I believe in everything that she's standing up for. She wants to put an end to gun violence in the country. There's
good luck with that.
Night about gun violence. And,
come and take them.
Cool.
As everybody knows, we're the only high population country in the world that has this problem, and it's awful because it can be changed.
Good luck with that, Ben. Good luck with that. Behind your fucking $15 million home fences. Fuck off.
Your security team with guns.
Were not engaged before. I think it's incredibly important. By the way, I know this is hilarious. This is probably the funniest of all of them.
It's hilarious, but not for the reason you think,
I'm
Ben.
sorry. I got nothing except how I feel. But she's the fact that she's going to fight for a woman's right to choose, that's so important.
You mean that right that you guys lost under Biden?
I know that's so important. She's watching right now. Hi, Ella. This issue is so important to the majority of people in this country.
It is. You're right. He's right about that.
Seeing that her generation become engaged in a way they weren't, and my son's 19. He's going to vote in his first election, and they've grown up in the last 10 years with this crazy world, and the level of discourse that has just gotten to such a low level, and this is a chance to really to protect democracy
you're really protecting democracy, Ben.
Forward. So that's why everybody's got to get out and vote and donate. And she's also a historic candidate. It's going to be the first woman president.
Yeah, cool.
And that's incredibly exciting. And
it is.
She's Indian, she's black, she's everything. You could be more than one thing. It's incredible.
Incredible.
Jewish and Irish.
No one cares.
I wish I was black. Every white Jewish guy wishes he was black.
Do they? Do they, Ben?
Just get out there and vote and donate and take
Holy
advantage.
Fuck,
It's such
man.
an important time right now, and this wave of energy that's happening, we got to keep going with it.
The wave of energy is just your own farts that you're inhaling, dude.
Yeah, exactly. You can get rid of that.
Ben. Really?
Holy shit! I can't believe. First off, there's zero passion there. No. We've seen Ben Stiller with passion. That is like you're just looking for the gun off screen at his head. He's
Listen,
giving his
man,
list.
I'm just trying not to get canceled for Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Whatever I got to do to keep my paychecks coming.
This guy was in blackface the whole movie, and I played Simple Jack. So,
speaking, actually, funny enough, with Jack Black in that movie, he kind of reminds me of Jack Black when Kyle Gass popped off on stage. That whole hey, I'm just trying to wash my hands of everything.
Yeah. He actually is in the papers again today. Jack Black made comment. Now, were you of the belief that we'd seen the last of Tenacious D, or that they'd eventually come back? I can't remember where we all stood on that. I didn't think they were done forever, I don't think.
Not forever.
Yeah. Well, he said, I love Tenacious D. We had to take a break.
Yeah, that's
but I love the D.
He threw Kyle under the bus and kept going on tour.
What's that?
That's why Jack Black threw Kyle under the bus and then kept his tour going.
Is he on tour?
I think Jack Black's still on tour.
Really? I haven't heard that. I don't pay that much attention, but everybody takes a break sometimes. We'll be back. It's almost like a message, like it's that little exhaustion. Everybody needs a break sometimes. It's like, no, it's because of what your fucking idiot partner said. And that goes back. So in other words, we're just letting the dust settle a little bit, letting people calm down, and then we'll go right back on tour. He doesn't really care what Kyle said. I'm not someone who believes in forever cancellations on any level. I think it was incredibly fucking stupid what Kyle said. And I don't care how impressive his apology is. I think what he meant was exactly what he said. I think when you're willing to go to that level and say what he did, bring out a cake, hey, make a wish in front of 10,000 people and say, don't miss Trump next time. That's not a funny pun. That's not a joke. Like that assassination attempt on the president, he was hit in the fucking face, for Christ's sakes, was what, a day before, 2 days before? Yeah. Like that's exactly how Kyle feels. Kyle feels like, fuck, man, we were 2 inches away from being done with this guy forever. That's how he feels. I thought his apology sounded genuine. It's very hard to make these sound genuine. But I still, even saying that, I'm willing to give people the benefit of the doubt usually. In this case, I think he said exactly what he meant. And I think there's a fuckload of people that I know personally that feel the exact same way. That's why, like, I mean it when I say the thought of any political opponent or someone taking a shot at them in an assassination attempt is horrible to me. I mean that wholeheartedly. I mean that on every level. I mean that against people that I disagree with politically wholeheartedly. I do not believe these people feel the same way at all. Yeah. I just don't. He issued a statement on social media. The line I improvised on stage in Sydney was highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. I don't condone violence of any kind in any form against anyone. What happened was a tragedy, and I'm incredibly sorry for my severe lack of judgment. I profoundly apologize to those I've let down and truly regret any pain I've caused.
It sounds like it was kind of written out by somebody else.
Well, yeah, and it was posted on social media.
Yeah.
You know, that's as good as I've heard as far as like trying to like sound like a genuine apology. Again, with this particular topic, I think you said exactly what you meant. Yeah. I think you're very sorry that it spectacularly exploded. Exactly. When you're talking about canceling European tour dates, like you're in the middle of a traveling circus at that point with a lot of people who are on the payroll. You know, there's a lot of people involved who your actions just completely fucked over, completely stopped what they had going on, their ability to earn a living for their family, because all those stagehands, all those fucking managers, all those promoters, all those people are not still going to be paid for this 6-month gig you're in the middle of.
Exactly.
Like,
and that's
so I believe that he's genuinely sorry that, oh, fuck, what I said fucked up all these people. Like the weight of that probably is sincere. At the same time, I also believe that he absolutely wishes someone would murder Trump.
Yeah. I would have had respect for him if he came out and said, I believed what I said, but I didn't think about how it would affect the rest of the tour and the people around me.
Yeah.
I would have been like, you know what, man? Fuck it.
Yeah. You're an asshole, but okay.
You're an asshole, but I totally accept that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is, but you know, they'll you know, Jack's got no problem apparently with this, so they'll just pick up and go on tour. And
I mean,
you know, I don't care. I don't want
easy to recover from.
Huh?
I said it's a lefty take. It's easy to recover from. If he came out and said something like, you know, I am in full support of Trump now, he probably would have been getting a bigger cancellation.
He'd be Scott Baio'd in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah,
he'd be Scott Baio'd immediately.
Tenacious D would be touring with Kid Rock next.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. He'd be on the next leg of the Lynyrd Skynyrd Kid Rock tour.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. Yeah, these people, I mean, at least Newberg admitted it the other day when he's like, oh, 100%. I have to be very careful. That's sad. It's fucking sad. It's sad that, you know, you can't be honest about how you feel about something for fear of repercussions at you know, your work. It's just like, are you a good worker? Do you do good work? Is Chris capable of writing good jokes, topical stuff, depending on the subject? Yes, he is. He's exercised that fucking muscle forever. And it's very strong. He's very capable of doing that job. But if he came on here and, you know, he's got to be very careful, because if the wrong person hears him say something, like, that can absolutely fuck you over. It just can.
It can fuck him over if we say something way too far and he doesn't push back enough.
Exactly. It's sad. It's the whole thing that's wrong. It's the whole thing that's wrong in society where, people do have differing opinions. They just do, these people that demand, they're outraged by something you said. Outraged. They want someone fired. They want accountability. You said this about trans people. You should never work again. Fuck you. We're going to Scott Baio you. We're going to cancel you. We're going to picket every place you. Those are the same people that looked at people who were offended at the opening ceremonies of the Olympics and were like, fuck you, Christians. Fuck you if you don't like it.
Yeah.
It's like, do you not see? You get offended when the wind fucking blows and you want the world to stop because of it. You want everyone to stop and pay attention to your personal fucking, oh my gosh, I was offended by something this person I've never met said about trans issues, or they took issue. They don't want people being allowed to cut off their children's dicks at 6 years old. How dare they should never speak public again. You want those same people over here when these people who are genuinely offended, I don't care about the opening Olympic ceremonies, but I can absolutely see how those people would be fucking highly offended. And exactly. You know that, but you want everybody to just ignore their offense at something. See how that works? Sucks. Exactly. It sucks. Kamala Harris picked her VP. There will be more gotten into him in the days to come. It's not pretty. Minnesota, I don't know what you think of when you first hear Minnesota. I think of Bob Dylan. I think of My Pillow. Use promo code TDC. $25. He's blowing shit out. $25 for pillows, sheets, Giza, like all that shit. You're nuts if you're not. That stuff is fucking awesome. It really is. Promo code TDC. He gives me a great deal. I wish he was selling the goddamn stuff for way more money because he'd pay me way more. But I think of My Pillow in Shaska, Minnesota, Jesse the Body. And I think of the absolute fucking riots, destruction of Minneapolis. It was right up there with Portland. It was just a couple years ago, 2020, 21, after George Floyd and all that shit.
Yeah, it was 2020.
And that was the guy in charge who told police to stand down, let them burn, I believe is one of his quotes. Yep. He's the one that didn't want the National Guard called in because thought that would bring more attention. Just let them riot, let them burn our city down. Small businesses, fuck them. Fuck the people that worked their whole lives to build this small business. Let these guys are angry. They're angry. Black Lives Matter. So let them burn it all down. Yep. He oversaw that. That's what he oversaw. He's also the guy that put tampons in boys' bathrooms starting in 4th grade in all Minnesota public schools. Because,
yeah, why not?
Why wouldn't you put
tampons too?
Yeah. I mean, 4th grade. What 4th grade boy doesn't need tampons?
I was going to say,
do you know what think about what you would do if you're in 4th, 5th, 6th grade and they put a tampon dispenser in your bathroom. Dude, you would have soaked them and thrown them. They would have become giant spitballs, like winging those things in the hallways at everybody. Like this idea that we're all responsible and like we can understand this might be important. There might be one student in the class who identifies as something, and God forbid they have to bring their own tampons to school.
No, they're going to get dropped in the gayest kid's backpack, and then everyone's going to make fun of that kid. That's all you did.
Yeah, exactly. You just gave more tools to weaponize and bully other kids with.
Yep.
They're going to be whipped around the school. They're going to be, like you said, they're going to, some kid's going to go to his locker and find 50 of them in there.
Because you think I wouldn't take them out and write people's names on them and put them back?
Yeah. Anytime someone acts like a bitch or a pussy or something, his name's going to be written on one of those and they're going to be taped to his locker. Like that's how kids react. That's how children behave, which is why you don't go down this road. But so Kamala announced it to her VP. They went on stage and said absolutely nothing about how they're going to fix any issues we have, inflation, skyrocketing gas prices. They didn't even try to lie to you and tell you how they're going to fix the border. Nothing like that. It's just like, oh my God, we're here. We're not that orange guy. Great. Thanks. And they won't do any discussion about this kind of stuff. But at the same time, they put out a throwback Doug mug. And I there's a picture of it there.
Yeah, I can find one.
Yeah. And so they dropped this the day before. It was either the Daily Mail or the Mail Online was going to put the story out about our second ma'am, Douglas Emhoff, fucking his babysitter and knocking her up.
Yeah, getting her pregnant.
Yeah. While he was married, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, there it is. So this mug comes out the day before this story drops. And now it's like, oh, if you were wondering when Doug blew his marriage up by fucking the babysitter and knocked her up, this is what he looked like. This was that Doug. If you wanted to know what 20-something Doug looked like when he was fucking the babysitter, that's it there on a mug for you. Throwback Doug mug. They're trying to make this fucking goofball white guy that hates men. Cool. Awesome. Good luck with that.
I know.
Yeah, I took responsibility in the years since we worked through things as a family. We've come out stronger on the other side. I keep thinking about that. I want more details on that, please. I think you like if the press had any spine whatsoever, they'd go, well, no, look, there's lots of marriages that have been in drastic trouble that have failed over the years. We've got skyrocketing divorce rates in this country, which we don't think is a great thing. And So Mr. Emhoff, sorry, I don't mean to pull it back here, but you fucked your babysitter behind your wife's back and then blew a load in her and she got pregnant. And through that process, somehow you got stronger, your relationship with your wife. Can you please shed some light on exactly what that means? Because, God, there's a lot of people that are struggling, that their family life is exploding on its face. And if they're infidelity, some might even say toxic masculinity, Doug, can somehow help them through this time. I'm all ears. I'd love to report on this, but no one asks a follow-up. So I doubt Doug listens to this show, but if he is, I'd love some clarity on that. How you fucked your babysitter behind your wife's back, knocked her up, and then somehow your relationship with your wife gets stronger from that in the end.
It is one of them is making a lot of money and the other one doesn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah,
something like that. It's got to be money somewhere. There's no way your relationship gets stronger.
Yeah, but I don't think women would like that if it was like, I just threw a pile of money at it, told the bitch to go away.
Yeah, but with Kamala, it's probably also a political thing too. I can't,
Well, it would have been Kamala.
Oh,
it
really?
would have been before her. So
he cheated on a different wife, said his relationship was stronger, still got a divorce in the end, and then married Kamala.
Dude, that's one of my other notes.
Now I'm doing a lot of math.
Yeah, because if your relationship got stronger, I mean, it was at one point that you married her and you had 2 kids with her. And then you fucked the babysitter, knocked her up. Somehow through that, your relationship with your wife got stronger, yet you still got divorced.
Yeah.
Something's not right there. I feel like if it got stronger, you'd still be together. Why aren't you still together? I mean, if you work through this, no one cares, obviously. You've just moved past this. It's weird that your relationship got stronger, yet you still got that divorce. Weird. Even a statement from his first wife, the one he fucked the babysitter on? That one. Supporting him. Didn't help much, which is weird. Doug and I decided to end our marriage for a variety of reasons many, many years ago. Many meaning the fucking the babysitter part. Many reasons. Like, I don't know what those would be. Like, maybe he was really awful at, like, he kept leaving the toilet seat up.
Yeah.
Did she get, you know what I mean? Like, he sucked at taking the garbage out.
The small things add up.
He fucked the babysitter, while we were together and raising 2 kids and knocked her up. That part sucked, but not nearly as bad. He wouldn't help at dinner. He wouldn't fucking take a kid to ball practice. Kids got baseball practice, every other night, and old fuckface here wouldn't take the kid. I mean, it was those reasons. And then you sprinkle in fucking the babysitter. That didn't help.
No.
By the way, he's the guy that goes on interviews and bitches about toxic masculinity, and then he goes and does the most boys will be boys thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking the babysitter and knocking her up. That's literally like, is there anything more toxic masculine than that? I don't know. I'd love to know what it is.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it real quick.
Think long and hard about it. I don't expect an answer right away.
I mean, personally, I don't care who he fucked in the past or what he's got going on with that, only because Trump and Melania, we know shit's going on there too.
Oh, hell yeah.
All of them are totally fucked. But
They're
is
all
kind of hard to
morally
do
bankrupt.
this math. I don't know how to do this math.
Well, it's like everybody always knew what Trump was.
Yeah.
That he's been trading up for hotter, younger chicks his whole life. And it's like,
there's billionaires too.
Yeah, he's like, duh. Why wouldn't you? Why would you stick with this old fucking hag? Just give her a pile of money and tell her to fuck off and trade in for a new model. Like, I thought that's the game that we all understood was being played. The problem I have is when you do interviews and you go, toxic masculinity is a cancer on society, and women could do everything men could do, and toxic masculinity is I don't even know what that means. Toxic, like men being men. But men having locker room conversations with each other. What exactly are you saying? First ma'am, second ma'am, whatever you are, Doug Emhoff, Doug fuck off. like you wanna tell everyone how to be. Oh, but then when you're about to be outed, the toxic masculinity, your lack of morals, all of that comes flying out, and it's like, oh, you fucked the babysitter, you pile of shit. I don't care. I probably would too, but but I would never sit in a camera on ABC and go, toxic masculinity is a cancer in this country. Like, yeah, from people like you, fucking asshole. Yeah. Don't lecture us about toxic masculinity. And then we get to find out a handful of months later that, what do you know? You're that guy, asshole. But go get your throwback Doug mugs.
Doug, what is it? Tug Men Off?
Tug Jack Off.
That's what I got right there. Tug Men Off.
This part of the show is brought to you by our dear friends at the Deer Lake Athletic Club. Deer Lake Athletic Club offers a full gym, fitness classes, 3 pools, swim lessons, tennis, pickleball, and more. The Backcourt restaurant inside the Deer Lake Athletic Club has weekly specials like Taco Tuesday, kids meals for $5 on Thursdays, live entertainment on Fridays, and their newest Sippin' Saturdays featuring half-off wine and appetizers. Call 248-625-8686 for more information. It's 248-625-8686. Stop in at 6167 White Lake Road in Clarkston, or you can visit their website, DeerLakeAthleticClub.com. That is deer like the animal, D-E-E-R. Not deer. Hello, deer. No, Deer Lake Athletic Club. Go see Forey and the crew over there. You will not be disappointed. The food's great. The atmosphere is great. You'll have quite a bit of fun. The Secret Service. This is going to be interesting. July 2nd. This is where it's dangerous to put Kim Cheadle on the stand, to put Ron Rowe, the acting Secret Service director now. Different guy, same as the last guy, part of the, like, having them investigate the Trump assassination attempt, all that shit. Kim Cheadle was gloriously, historically tossed on her fucking ass after her probably perjurious testimony in front of Congress.
Probably.
Couldn't answer
extremely.
Couldn't answer a single fucking question at all, no matter how dumb it was. Like, the idea that you're holding stuff back for blah blah, like, the event happened, dipshit. She was trying to act like, oh, I can't get into where someone stood in that building. The only reason you would try to hide information like that, like how many bullet casings did you find on the roof, wouldn't answer. What was the distance here, is if you had ongoing events there and you didn't want to give details about stuff like, no, the event is come and gone, dummy. Yeah. It's come and gone. There's nothing that you're worried about protecting guidelines and set up details from Secret Service agents that have worked hard to put together a plan. Like, no, you don't need to protect those anymore. The event's come and gone, and you failed horribly at your mission. So these members of Congress want to start grilling other Secret Service members, and they're asking to see phones, communications, and you're going to have a hard time denying this. And I hope it goes full on. And if you start getting boots on the ground guys, under oath, you start getting them questioned, you could see this blow up spectacularly. And by that, I don't mean like who knows what the real story is, but there's a lot of those guys that are, all of those guys, my guess, are not going to perjure themselves. They are not going to fucking protect Kim Cheadle or Ron Rowe. They're not. They're going to tell you exactly what they've heard, what they've seen, what orders they were given. And so if you can get them now at this point, the Secret Service has been trying to make it so that these guys cannot go under oath. If they break that down and get these guys under oath, look out. Because if you think just the assassination attempt is the only thing that'll be brought up, you're fucking wrong. It's not. When you get tens of thousands of emails destroyed for January 6th, right? When it's like fucking burn everything, and they do, people know. People know why. People know what was in there. And you start getting guys with knowledge under oath. Problem. The other one is the coke that was found in the White House.
Yeah, that came back up, didn't it?
Remember that old story? And it was like, I don't know, the most skilled, highly trained executive police force on planet Earth. We got no idea.
I heard they found something.
Huh?
I heard they found something on that, by the way, but it won't tell us.
Oh, what do you mean they found something?
Like a partial DNA match?
Really? I thought they destroyed the baggie and the blow. Like the next day.
They had a half DNA match, and they won't tell anyone who it is.
I can venture a guess. I'd almost bet his life on it, to be honest with you.
Maybe.
So July 2nd, 23, a member of the Secret Service discovered this bag of blow. According to a new report from Real Clear Politics, former Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle, who was appointed to her position partly because of her close friendship with First Lady Dr. Jill Biden, wanted to destroy the evidence. Now, why would Kim Cheadle want to destroy the evidence? I don't know. Maybe to protect her dear friend, brain surgeon, Dr. Jill, who would obviously want to protect, I don't know, maybe there was a member in her family that's got an issue with coke. Can't think of who that would be. I guess we'll never know. But maybe something along those lines. I don't know. Maybe if you looked into it, we'd know. It doesn't sounds like Kim Cheadle didn't want to do that, though, for some strange reason. Didn't want to get to the bottom of that.
Weird.
When the member of the Secret Service found the evidence, he reportedly wanted to implement a particular crime scene investigative protocol, but was then removed from the case. That's weird. So he wants to go by the book, as probably most field agents in the Secret Service would. I get the feeling that most of those, they're not as inept as their fucking leadership is. I think those guys are absolute patriots. And my guess is I would come as close to saying 100% of those guys are above such reproach, that they would absolutely want to open an investigative, whatever their protocol is for something like that. That they wouldn't fuck around and play games no matter who it was.
Yeah.
And it would have to come down from the top to say, burn it, burn everything, throw it away, delete everything. But those guys would know what happened. Secret Service closed its investigation on July 12th, 10 days later, after it said it could not identify a suspect. Just don't know. Just can't figure it out. I don't know. It's been a couple days. We don't know. There was no surveillance video footage found that provided investigative leads or any other means for investigators to identify who may have deposited the found substance in this area. Without physical evidence, the investigation will not be able to single out a person of interest from the hundreds of individuals who passed through the vestibule where the cocaine was discovered. At this time, the investigation is closed due to a lack of physical evidence. I know that Hunter Biden was staying there at the time. I don't know if that's relevant, but...
No, it could be a coincidence. I mean, I don't know what he would have to do with it.
No, I don't either, but for some reason, Real Clear Politics had three sources that they mentioned in this story that mentioned that he was staying at the White House at the time. So I don't know if that's relevant to the story or not, but interesting nonetheless. Jill Biden's top aide, Anthony Bernal, urged Cheadle's appointment as the head of the Secret Service. The New York Post reported that an insider revealed Cheadle served on Dr. Biden's second lady detail, and Anthony pushed for her. Anthony has no national security or law enforcement experience, and yet he's the guy with the good doctor's ear to get Kim Cheadle, who was last fucking running Frito-Lay, security. That's the reason we got this idiot running the Secret Service. He should have no influence over the selection of the USSS director. Hunter Biden's ex, Kathleen Buell, testified between 15 and 19. She often searched his vehicle. Yeah, they would loan their car out to the kids, and it was like, Hunter, stop leaving crack and fucking paraphernalia all over the car. Dozens of times. This fucking idiot would leave crack pipes, and she'd have to go search the car before letting the kids take them.
Yep, right in the limo ever, too.
Yeah, and the tax, or was it the rental? It was the rental car. Remember the rental car they had pictures of, and he left a crack pipe in there. He left coke residue ever. Like, if you've ever done a line of anything, like, lick your finger and clean it up a little bit. Do your best. Otherwise, it leaves fucking, it makes a mess. And you don't, like, this guy didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck. He just like, yeah, whatever, man. And he just walked right out of the room. Nikki Haley said, for them to say they don't know who this is, don't tell me there's no cameras in there. There are absolutely cameras in there. I strongly believe this is a cover-up for either Hunter or someone very close to the president, and they don't want to say who it is.
Yep.
Interesting. This assassination attempt on the president is so egregious. You might end up getting in a lot of these. I think there was 13 guys in the Secret Service, guys and gals. You might end up getting them under oath, and this thing could blow up spectacularly about January 6 emails and the blow, whatever they find, whatever the story is behind those. I'd love to know.
Yeah,
I'd love to know. Fuck these politicians, first off.
Yep.
I'd love to know, All right. Let's see here. Speaking of coke.
Oh, boy.
This Olympian, the Olympics, I haven't paid any attention to him, honestly, but it's funny just seeing the stories that come out. There's a guy from, he's a field hockey player, got popped by a blow on the streets in Paris. Yeah. And, he's Australian. And so they got pictures of him on the sidewalk. He's in the Moulin Rouge area. Apparently it's kind of seedy and there's some shit. Some chick got fucking gang raped there the other day.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Like 5 a.m. Imagine that. How exhausted you'd be coming out of a bar at 5 a.m. And then you get gang raped. Like, it's just horrible.
By the French, too?
I don't know who it was. There's a lot of non-French in Paris these days. So, they've let everyone in. So who the fuck
knows? They're
knows?
French now.
Sure. New French. As our soon-to-be vice president man calls the illegals now. New Americans. Yeah. They're just new Americans.
They're new French.
Yeah, these are new Americans. So new French. I don't know if they're new French or if they're old French. But yeah, I think it was 5 dudes just viciously gang raped this woman. She told police she was set upon by a group of 5 men, brutally raped before escaping and seeking safety in a nearby kebab shop. Well, does that...
I don't think you're safe there.
Yeah.
I feel like the guy's going to chase it behind you, and then the guy at the counter is going to say something like, oh, do you want a kebab while you're here?
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Hold on.
Mike's got to excuse himself real quick for my actions.
There.
I just got you a new hat.
In solidarity.
Okay.
You see what my hat says?
So you're on Team Kebab Shop?
The Kebab Shop. Dude, it's my favorite restaurant.
Yeah. Team Kebab Shop?
No, it's the Kebab Shop. Thank you very much. Smart ass.
Team Kebab Shop.
Team Kebab Shop. No. I'm saying it doesn't necessarily, but does the plot thicken just a hair when you're trying to figure out these just new French?
Yeah.
These new French gang rapists. They were hanging out by a kebab shop at 5 a.m. For what it's worth. Obviously, that's where she escaped to. I'm not saying anything more than that. I don't know that it means anything. Maybe they're just, maybe it's just 5 Pepe Le Pews running around the streets of Moulin Rouge, gang raping 25-year-old girls. So she ran into this kebab shop. The unnamed seller, going back to the this Olympian, this tells me this guy is doing a lot of blow. And I mean a lot of blow.
Yeah.
Like if you can't hold it together, and I'm no saint. I've been there, sir. I get it. But I definitely had times where it was like, you do something, you feel guilty about it, and then it's like, I'm not touching that for fuck. And you'd go a year.
Yeah.
Like you can't get through a fucking 3-week span at the Olympics. it tells me there's a little more there. If you're buying this shit on the streets in Paris, it tells
You
me this
might
isn't the
have a
first.
problem.
Yeah, this is not a first timer. You know, you're willing to just go out there and be like, I'm looking for a little pick me up. No judgment, like teach their own. I don't know if that would count as an illicit drug, performance enhancing, if you will.
Coke, yeah, I'd say Coke is enhancement.
Yeah,
If it was weed, I would have been like, he's not getting enhancement from that. He's trying to chill out at the end of the day.
That's probably banned too.
I think so.
By the IOC. Now, I would agree with you. with you. They're just kind of dicks about stuff like weed or vaping, you know, whatever, THC. Coke, you could be like, I got speedy and I fucking jack things out, you know.
Yeah.
I guess but is it like testosterone? I wouldn't think so.
No, you just get a good boost of energy if you need to sprint real quick.
Yeah. Or and he's playing field hockey. I thought the chicks played field hockey. I thought men played actual hockey and chicks played field hockey.
Not in the
Olympics. It's kind of like lacrosse for chicks, right? I thought that's what it was. I don't know. Tom Craig's his name. He's 28. Spent the night in jail. He was released with no prosecution and no fine. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, lucky you. You get popped by and blow on the streets at the Olympics. You know it's going to be a big story, and they go, on your way, so. And they just let him go. That's kind of cool. I'd firstly like to apologize for what has occurred over the past 24 hours. I made a terrible mistake, and I take full responsibility for my actions. My actions are my own and in no way reflect the values of my family, my teammates, my friends, my sport, and the Australian Olympic Committee. I've embarrassed you all, and I'm truly sorry. Here's the thing with these. No one ever thought you buying blow on the streets was somehow a reflection of your fucking countrymen or your family.
Yeah.
At all. You just go, look, man.
You like Coke.
I like fucking Coke. What are you going to do? Sorry. These guys were all hanging out at the bar. We were fucking 8 shots deep. It sounded like a good idea. It probably wasn't. My bad. And I was so fucking bad at it. I got caught in Paris. Holy shit. I was just buying a teener for the night. That's all I was looking for. My bad. But this idea of like, there's a reflection on my country and my family and my teammates. And no one thought that. Everyone knew exactly what was going on there, sir.
Say, dude, the Netherlands has a convicted rapist on their team. You're okay.
What's that? Exactly.
The Netherlands have a convicted rapist. A little Coke's fine.
Yeah, child rapist too, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it like a 12-year-old girl?
Yep. 12-year-old girl. Convicted.
So here's the other thing that makes me go, oh yeah, not a first timer. This guy's done this plenty. It's understood Craig was arrested just 15 minutes after leaving an Australian team function, which means he was sitting in that function going, wrap it up, guys. Let's go. Yep. Let's go. He had some place to be. That dude couldn't wait to get out of that fucking boring ass meeting and go buy some Coke on the street, which is crazy these days. I don't know that they have the fentanyl problem we do here. I would think they would. I mean, I don't know. I can't say for sure, but anyways, would it be cool though if he brought home the gold? If they still let him compete and his team, like I'm rooting for Team Australian field hockey now.
Yeah.
You know, I think that'd be kind of cool. If you know, cokeheads don't get great representation. We've got like the Hunter Bidens of the world. So I think it'd be kind of cool. Anyways. All right, kid, let's get out of here.
All right.
I had a couple things, but we'll shut it down. Let's see. Raj feedback. I was okay with Raj. He really was not around long enough for me to form a solid opinion, but if his absence is the result of being butthurt over early polling, I say fuck him. J. Chris Newberg's a swell fella, and I actually really like just you and Garrett as well, for what it's worth. Best wishes, Francis. Yeah. No, I think there's more to the Raj thing. I don't think it's just like, offended by something. Yeah.
I tell people like he's not gone forever. We just don't know when it's going to come back.
No, I wouldn't even say that. No,
Okay.
I need someone lockstep, with shit. And I don't know if not everybody's in the right spot in their life to do that. So, is what it is. I still love Raj. I haven't talked to him yet. I'm kind of pissed. So, we'll see, but I wouldn't count on anything. And, we're all responsible for our own actions. Believe me, I've been held fucking responsible for lots of shit. And with that, we'll call it a day. Have a great weekend. Fuck, dude, the Lions are on.
Yeah. I was gonna
tomorrow
say, we got
night.
a whole weekend.
Yeah. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, Lions are on. I can't wait. I'm going to be fucking up north around here, which is, I guess, okay, because they're not going to let me watch the Lions live now. I've got to, for these preseason games, only in the home market can you watch those live, unless it's like the Hall of Fame game. There's a couple, but the vast majority of them, unless you're in the home market, you can't watch them anyway. So I've got to wait for that thing to fully finish. So I'll watch that, tomorrow after golf, I guess. G and I will sit down and watch that.
And if I may, Friday, I'm seeing Dave Landau.
Oh, nice.
He's got a stand up over at Mark Ridley's. So if
tell him I said hello.
Feel free to say hi, and I will if I see him.
Hey, everybody that's listening to this, that's going to see Dave Landau, please say something nice about when he's on this show. Say something nice about how much you miss hearing him here. Like, we fucking love Dave.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just so busy and lazy. I have to fucking book Normal World and book a flight and all that shit. And I still want to get to the mothership too. And when he's there, down in Austin. So we'll see. But please, everybody that's listening, make a point to say something to Dave, and have a great weekend, Garrett. And Newberg will be here Monday. He's in Kansas City. So if you happen to be listening in Kansas City, you want to go check him out, look him up, because I know he's headed there tomorrow. And have an awesome weekend, everybody. We'll see you